So reviewing the holiday calendar. So let's just put everything out on the map right now, right? So we've got October, November, December. That's what's coming up. That's the next quarter. So at the high level, that's everything. Now, if you wanted to, you could go to seg.uno/2022 calendar, and you can go get this calendar. It's the whole 2022 calendar, and you can go to the last quarter. And so you can have this and print it out or have it on your desktop, do whatever you want with it. But so you have access to this right now. But let's dive deeper into what each one of those months mean and how they kind of layer together. So up first, we have got October. Now, technically, the big events that go on in October, we've got Canadian Thanksgiving, we've got Diwali, and we've got Halloween. Now, on their own, those aren't such big commerce holidays. I'm going to say commerce holidays, because Halloween, which is probably the biggest, the one that most retailers are looking at celebrating. Definitely when you go to the grocery store, what are you seeing right now being advertised? Halloween stuff. But Halloween's all about a celebration. If you sell products that people would want to have a Halloween celebration for, or would need Halloween products for, you have prints that would go well for clothing for Halloween or snacks for Halloween, anything for a Halloween party, of course, you would want to advertise that enough in advance so that people can get it by Halloween. It's not about really having, you could have a Halloween sale, and lots of places do because it's a good excuse for a sale. But normally, if you have anything that's really well suited for Halloween, you're going to want to market it way before so people can get it in advance. But really, at another level above kind of the exact dates that go on in October, we've also got the fact that fall is really in full swing and that there's a change of season. So I know we've got some Southern Hemisphere folks in here, so I'm thinking of you. I know that we're not going into colder weather for you, we're going into warmer weather. But regardless of that, people's weather are changing right now, and that often means that new products are also coming out. So oftentimes, fall and spring, this is a great time to talk about new products that are coming out and kind of a change in season. For fashion, especially, this is great for style guides or for homewares. I know we've got a lot of fashion and homewares people in the audience, or even in beauty, because obviously the change in season can also mean a change in look or a change in skin care routines. So this is a great time to talk about a new product or collection that's coming out, or highlight a product or collection that goes really well with this change of season. And then if it does match your overall vibe and you've got products to support it, or you just really love Halloween and want to have some fun with it, Halloween is another great campaign to roll out during this season as well. Now, if you're looking for specific newsletters that you might want to send in October, like I just mentioned, the product or collection, style guides, or how to use, these are all great newsletters to think on during this season, because they're all related back to, there's a change happening and I need to know how to navigate that change. And the reason why you're kind of overlapping with the change in season is because that's what your audience is going through. So you want to go through it with them. That way you seem really relevant and trustworthy, and then that leads to more sales. Now, another thing to mention here, and the big retailers are doing this too, so this is something that's very well known in the email marketing industry, is that you're going to want to start ramping up your sending a little bit more. People are starting to buy early. I'm not saying that everybody is buying early. I realize that that's not the case, but we do notice that people are starting to buy earlier and earlier. So I would start to ramp up your sending schedule a little bit more. So if you normally do once a month, I would try to make sure you're getting in at least twice a month. If you normally do once every 2 weeks, maybe do maybe go 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 1 week off, something like that. Start to ramp up a little bit, because we want you to show up in the inbox, and it also puts your name top of mind for when we do get into the heavy hitting season. All right, then we head into November. Now during October, which is essentially now, it's September 28th, but we're essentially in October. That's when I want you to also start doing your planning for your November campaigns, because November is we have got stuff going on constantly in November. First of all, November is a huge sign to people that hey, I need to start shopping a little bit more. There's kind of the buzz in the air of shopping more. That's kind of intangible. There's also, gift giving events are coming up. I'm going to spend time with family. So people are starting to look to shop more and more. We also have On the 11th, there's Remembrance Day and Veterans Day. And oftentimes those can be shopping days. I don't think that that's like their primary reason. Like 4th of July is normally 4th of July sales, right? But Veterans Day is more about focusing on veterans. But if you happen to layer a sale in there, I think it makes sense. And then the big sales day that goes on November 11th, which is huge in Asia. And it's starting to creep more and more into other parts of the world too. But definitely if you have a large Asian audience, they're going to know what this is Singles Day. So it's all about treat yourself. It's all about buying yourself products. Would love to hear in the audience if anybody celebrates Singles Day or is starting to see their audience celebrate Singles Day. But if you're like, what does this mean? It's all about treat yourself. So it's basically just a big commerce day. Like it's all focused on treating yourself, buying yourself some stuff. Made very popular by the huge e-commerce site Alibaba. And then we get into later in the month where we've got Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. I'm sure we've got some name for Sunday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. Okay, let's be real. Like if at your family reunion or at your like Thanksgiving meal, how many people really know about like Small Business Saturday? Like not that many, right? Like people, like just regular consumers don't understand that these things are happening, but we as people who see the buying trends are starting to see this. So it's okay if you don't need to label these emails like Small Business Saturday or Giving Tuesday, but you could have messages that go along those themes on those days. What you really care about is that everybody knows that around Black Friday is shopping time. You can get some really good deals, and it officially kicks off a lot of the buying season for many people for buying for the holidays. Now, in the online world, we see a huge amount of sales go on over, this whole time frame. But I will say Cyber Monday is when we see a ton of revenue come in. So people often will, be doing a lot of research, and then Cyber Monday is when they actually make that decision to buy. So we see that quite often. And the reason why I state that is I don't want you to forget Cyber Monday. That's when people kind of get back to their computers and remember like, oh yeah, I didn't get this thing. I wonder what I could get still on, what I could get a deal on or what's out there, and then go ahead and purchase. So these are the dates that you're going to want to start considering and thinking about like, what kind of promotions do I want to do? Now, don't worry, we're going to have another event coming up around exactly what to do for Black Friday. We've got a Black Friday course out there. If you want to go take that, you can do that too. If you just want to think about it and take some time to really ruminate over what kind of deal you want to do that also. But don't worry, we've got you, and we will have more content specifically for Black Friday coming up soon. Now, December is interesting, right? Because it's a very hot buying month, but there's a lot of urgency because probably your last shipping date for ground shipping is going to be around the 14th and 15th. And of course, I don't know all of your logistics and all of your constraints that you might have, but my guess is that at some point you have a last shipping date, and really your promotions need to be very aware of that last shipping date and make sure people understand like the last, like let's say the last day to ship for you is the 14th, like that's the cutoff. You need to make sure that people know that, and there's kind of a countdown to that last day to ship so that there's not a surprise. And then after that last shipping date, we can of course do messages like gift cards and treat yourself messages. So you can still send out things, but we want to set up the expectation that like, look, if you're trying to get this by the 24th, you need to order by the 14th, and set up those expectations early. That way you have good trust with your audience, and the audience is more likely to buy from brands they trust. The other thing to remember for those in the UK is that Boxing Day comes up right on the 26th. And for many of us, that's kind of like Black Friday, where people are returning items or they just got gift cards and they want to go out and spend them. So that's another really great gifting day, or another great like self-purchase day. And you're going to want to, like, if you have products that are maybe left over or haven't been purchased throughout the course of the year, this is a great chance to offload them. That's definitely the time to do it. And other campaign ideas to think about, and that I'll highlight right now, are gift guides. So this is you don't have to put this into practice right now. We're just entering into October, but you can start to think through what are the gift guides that I want to highlight this year. So something that I like to tell customers is, during the holiday season, you have to become the gift guide expert for your products. So who would buy your products as gifts? Why would they be gifts? Really think through how you can become a central resource for your audience around gift guides. So maybe you use this product for this this is great for dads, this is great for moms, this is great for loved ones. And so you can maybe start putting pencil to paper on that, and then over time firm it up and turn it into collections and put together formal gift guides. We saw a recent stat, actually Brian found it from last year, that gift guides perform almost 50% better than regular promotional messages. Now, the skeptical side of me is like, wait a minute, but I mean, it makes sense. I've always seen gift guides do really, really well. Would I have said 50% better? I don't know, but I know they do really well. And that was a stat from Shopify. So, I mean, I'll take it with a grain of salt, but I know they do better.